I really enjoy it whenever I visit America. I just love the food, the energy, all of the things you can do. It's just so much fun. But when I saw this video, I was like, oh my God, are there actually states where, I might not be welcome? Like I might not be wanted there. And that kind of makes me a little bit sad. I'm hoping that, people in the comments can maybe disprove some of these claims, maybe, like disagree a little bit. But if it is the case, I guess it's good for me to know so I don't go there.
That's saying, go west, young man, or move to the mountains. The grass is always greener. But what if that grass is greener because the locals watered, mowed, and fertilized it, and they don't want you there? Well, the first thing is, too bad. They don't have the right, authority, or ability to stop you from moving wherever you want. But for those of you considering a big move to anywhere in the US, you should know some states are basically rolling out the "we don't want you" mat in the form of comments, tweets, and collective side eyes when they find out you're from elsewhere. But fear not, these states, while a bit territorial about newcomers, still have some unique benefits that may convince you to stick around and put up with it. Today we're looking at the top 10 states that hate newcomers. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look.
Let's go. Montana.
Number 10, Montana. Montana, known as Big Sky Country, is a state where the population density is so low you can wander around for days and only encounter a cow or a deer. If you have California license plates on your car, those will probably be the friendliest faces you come across. You'd think with all that space they would light up their highway exits like the Las Vegas Strip, trying to get you to stop. No, they got their own agenda. The locals are too busy hiking, hunting, and cursing those city folks invading their sacred ranch lands to give you much of a warm welcome. Sure, you'll get some stunning views of the Rocky Mountains, but trying to make friends, good luck. They'd rather you stay in your car and just admire the scenery from a distance, leave some money behind, and leave. About them Rockies. On one side of the state, the west side, you will find the Rockies and some of those beautiful landscapes this country has to offer. On the east side, they don't have much to look at unless you're into scrub brush and cow turds. More than any place in the state, you'd think this is where they'd have that welcome mat out. No, not at all. Now, if you want to get away from people, this is one of the best states to do it. I mean, solitude is key here. If that's not your thing, being around people, this is great. But if you like socializing and traffic, you're in the wrong place. Living here, you'll quickly learn that locals don't have time for tourists, let alone transplants, who don't know the difference between a bull or a steer. Finally, let's not forget about the winter.
What is the difference between a bull and a steer, by the way? I don't know.
Are you a fan of cold? Well, if you said yes, Montana will teach you a new meaning to the word cold. It gets brutally cold here. And that's not just up in the Rockies, the entire state. And that's one of the first things that people from Montana will tell you to kind of, knock you off Montana's trail. Oh, the winters here are ugly. They're brutal. They are, but they might make it sound a little bit worse just to knock you off their scent.
But the cost of living in Montana, is it low because it's so not sparse in terms of the population? Like, is buying a house really affordable? It must be, surely.
Number 9, Wyoming. Wyoming, like Montana, is a great place to live if you don't like humans, but you love dirt and bushes. Sure, you get Instagram perfect photos of the Grand Tetons, but don't expect the locals to follow you back on your social media. The state motto is equal rights, but it really should be something like Wild Frontier or No Outsiders. But no, they stuck with equal rights. The truth is, the residents of Wyoming have no interest in your big city ideas. They're much too busy navigating their off-road vehicles through sprawling wilderness, living life the way it was meant to be, if you're a hermit, like without people. The closest thing they have to a city is Cheyenne. The real kicker of Wyoming is the tax breaks. Wyoming has no state income tax, which is a plus for anyone who wants to spend their life quietly hoarding cash while avoiding eye contact with anyone from the government who might want to know the origin of all that cash.
No state income tax, but are there other taxes where they make up for it? Like Texas has high property taxes, I think. Because wow. So how much taxes would you pay on a salary of $100,000 a year in Wyoming?
Of course, this is all part of their grand plan to keep you quiet and in your place, away from the ranchers, the cowboys, and the legendary solitude. They don't want you there. Wyoming is one of the states that has the most frequent amount of people telling you not to move there in the comments of any of my videos that include Wyoming. There's a few of them on this list, and I'm going to tell you about them. The cowboy state is one of the most protective states about its lifestyle and heritage.
Wow. But if there's no state income tax, do you still have to pay federal tax? Or do you literally pay no taxes on your income?
Number 8, Idaho. Yep, we're gonna stay up in the same area. Idaho is, let's face it, a potato-fueled paradise. But before you start dreaming of endless rows of tater tots, understand that the only thing harder to digest here than their world-famous potatoes is the idea of outsiders. Sure, it looks like the perfect place for you to raise your family and enjoy the outdoors. But if you're from elsewhere, don't expect to be part of the social circle anytime soon. Now, that's the thing about Idaho. It is one of the best places to raise a family. So it is very appealing to a lot of different people. They're not as vacant as Montana or Wyoming. That being said, they got plenty of open spaces in small towns. I may have mentioned this before, but I actually had someone from Post Falls
Wow, is this Idaho? Looks pretty built up.
who claimed to be part of the, I don't know, the local government or something like that, that wanted me to take down a video where I said Post Falls was a great place to live. Sorry, Post Falls is a great place to live. They got great stats, great place to live. Just the local Karen doesn't want you to move there. All of the people of Idaho are so proud of their state that they've managed to keep it a hidden gem from all those pesky out-of-state movers. Until now, of course. I mean, they're all going to see this, and we're talking thousands and thousands of people tonight will decide that they're moving to Idaho based on my recommendation. And if you believe that, you could shake my leg and my nuts play jingle bells. Moving to Idaho means a life full of outdoor adventure, skiing in the winter, hiking in the summer, and pretending to be one with nature in between. But while those mountains look majestic, there's a catch. You'd better earn your spot in the community. Want to fit in? Well, first, better brush up on the local politics, learn how to fish, and above all, avoid looking too excited about anything.
So the states that have been mentioned so far, like Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, are they more right-leaning states or left-leaning states?
That's their thing. They're not excited about much. Nothing screams out-of-stater like smiling too much in Idaho. Oh, and speaking of the fishing, if you don't know your trout or your bass, just stay home. The locals here are serious about their fish, and they'll look at you suspicious if you can't handle a rod like a pro. But on the bright side, the state's low cost of living and lack of traffic will make you feel like you're the king of the mountain. Just don't expect anyone to greet you like royalty. They're actually going to chase you out of town if they find out. It's not that bad, but I'm sure some of them have thought about it. I've said this before, but if you move there from Southern California or California in general, when people ask where you came from, it is probably better for you to say you just got out of prison than you just came from California.
Are you kidding me? Come on. They don't hate Californians that much, do they? Do Californians really have that much of a bad reputation in other states in America? Because I've heard this in other videos. Like, there has to be an exaggeration, right?
Number 7, Alaska. Alaska is the
Wow, Alaska is humongous.
place where dreams come to freeze. From the vast uninhabited wilderness to the rough no-nonsense locals, it's a land where newcomers are typically viewed with the same enthusiasm as a mosquito bite. If you move here thinking you're going to join the I love the outdoor club, think again. Unless you can build your own cabin, chop firewood, and survive grizzly bear encounters, you might want to look elsewhere. Alaska is very wild, and Alaska is very unpopulated. Alaska has 665,000 square miles. Number 2 is Texas, and they don't even have half. They have 268,000 square miles.
Wow, so Texas, as big as Texas is, it's only a third as big as Alaska. That is insane.
And only 2 states have fewer people. So it's totally weird that they don't want more people to move there. Matter of fact, they're actually losing population as we speak. The Alaskan lifestyle isn't for the faint of heart. And frankly, Alaskans will be the first to let you know that. With temperatures that can drop low enough to make your eyelashes freeze together, the locals take their isolation seriously. They don't need you coming in and asking how to survive the winters when you can't even handle a snowstorm in your home state. But here's the silver lining. The scenery is breathtaking. Just be prepared to view it from afar, while your neighbor gives you a side eye for ruining the quiet. If you love ice fishing, dog sledding, and silence, Alaska is the place for you. Just don't expect a warm welcome when you arrive. It's not that they're unfriendly, they're just too busy surviving the next polar vortex to really make friends.
Isn't it true, though, in Alaska that they pay you to live there? I think because I read somewhere that they get so much oil in Alaska, they give each person that lives there some kind of like royalty from the oil proceeds, which would be amazing. like free money, pretty much.
Number 6, Utah. Utah is a wonderful place to live if you enjoy stunning desert landscapes, very strict rules about social behavior, and the occasional public shunning from your locals. Sure, the national parks here are stuff of Instagram legend, but don't be fooled. This state knows how to keep the outsiders away, or at least at arm's length. If you're not from here, the first thing you'll notice is they keep their distance. Sort of like that uncle at holiday parties that's usually a little too grabby. But if you're into hiking, rock climbing, and other activities that require you to somehow survive in the dry, scorching desert, then Utah's your playground. Enjoy it. Just be sure to keep your mouth shut about your big city ideas. Utah's another one of those that like to blame outsiders on any problem that goes on in that state. I mean, if there's a little bump in crime, they're going to blame it on Californians that have been moving there. I'm sure Californians do play a part, but they're not the only ones. That is always in the comment section about Utah. All the Californians that are moving here ruining the place. Look at Salt Lake City. It's a horrible place to live. Yeah, well, most cities are these days.
And Utah has a lot of interesting family dynamics. Like, there's that show, the guy who's got 4 wives. It's on TLC. I think he lives in Utah. I think one of the families that has like 22 kids, they live in Utah. A lot of interesting stuff happens in Utah, I think.
Number 5, New Hampshire. New Hampshire, home to beautiful foliage, hiking trails, and the infamous live free or die mentality. New Hampshire is a state with a deep pride in its independence, which means if you're thinking about moving here and you're not already a local, be prepared to be a loner for a bit. You'll quickly learn that the state motto isn't just a catchy slogan, it's a warning. If you come here looking to change anything, the locals will be more than happy to let you know they like things the way they are. And don't even try and blend in, it's not going to happen. New Hampshire residents will know that you're from out of state the second you hit the roads in anything that's not a Subaru. But, you know, even though people don't want you to move to New Hampshire, it's hard not to. I mean, their taxes, or lack thereof. If you're into saving money, New Hampshire is like a giant tax-free wonderland. No state income tax? Yes, please. But of course, don't expect the state's hospitality to match the tax benefits. There's a certain leave us alone attitude here that might make you feel more like an intruder than a resident. Now, in my experience, because I see the comments all the time, I don't get as many comments from people in the comment section from New Hampshire. It's always like Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and a few others. Colorado's a big one. We don't want you here. Don't come here. We're full. We get all that nonsense for those states. New Hampshire doesn't make a fuss. They keep it to themselves. And they send me horrible emails. They don't want their dirty laundry that they hate you out in the public. They want to keep it private in emails.
It's so funny. Like, people actually get super possessive about their state. I mean, have you ever met people like that? I mean, it's just like, come on. North Dakota.
Number 4, North Dakota. North Dakota's like that state your parents warned you about when they said you could move anywhere, but not there. It's cold, it's lonely, and the locals, they're not really fond of sharing their land with the rest of the world. In fact, if you show up uninvited to North Dakota, you might feel like the wind blowing through the plains, utterly ignored. The state prides itself on its wide open spaces and rugged charm, but the last thing they want is for those spaces to get a little crowded, especially from someone who doesn't know how to handle a proper winter storm. North Dakota is one of those states that thinks everyone else is a pansy. Honestly, every time I talk to someone, they just think because you come from someplace like, let's say, California, New York, or even Florida, you're just a sissy. You gotta survive a North Dakota winter to be a hard dude, apparently, to the...
To be fair, though, I have heard it gets crazy cold in North Dakota. Like, really cold. Like, negative, like, 40.
These people. But why live here? Well, North Dakota offers unparalleled peace and quiet. I mean, it's up there with Wyoming and Montana, but North Dakota's a different kind of peace and quiet. I mean, as long as you'll like this place if you like peace and quiet, as long as peace and quiet involves sub-zero temperatures and a lack of nightlife. The state is also great for anyone who likes small town living with a twist of old-fashioned values. The cost of living is low, and the sunsets over the endless prairie are absolutely stunning. You can't deny the state has those, and they're pretty cool. But be warned, if you show up with your fancy city coffee and expect a warm latte and a warmer welcome, you're out of luck. North Dakota drinks its coffee black or nothing at all. It's a way of life, not a trend. Oh, and the oil boom? Yeah, sure. It made a lot of North Dakota people rich, but it also brought in an influx of outsiders, and this put a bad taste in a lot of North Dakota residents' mouth. That was one of those things that it's a blessing, but it's also not. I mean, They needed people to work in the oil fields, and it got a lot of jobs. But yeah, was it worth it? I mean, they still have the oil fields. It's just sometimes booms and sometimes it doesn't. But they definitely don't want you moving there.
Interesting. I would like to go to North Dakota, though, just to hear that accent in real life. Dakota.
Number 3, Vermont. Vermont, the land of maple syrup, rolling green hills, and an abundance of no vacancy signs.
Maple syrup? I thought that was from Canada.
Metaphorically speaking, of course. Vermont loves outsiders. With a catch, as long as they come as tourists, spend money, and then promptly leave. They're all on board with that. Move here, you'll quickly find out that Vermont's friendly exterior is about as genuine as off-brown syrup at a diner. Locals like their town small, their roads unpaved, and their neighbors non-existent. So why would you want to move there? Well, natural beauty is unmatched by most states. Between the charming covered bridges and the endless hiking trails, you'll feel like you've stepped into a postcard. But don't let the scenic vistas fool you. The locals have a low tolerance for transplants who don't understand the importance of composting or don't really own a Subaru. This is another state that loves their Subarus. Actually, this is the king state of Subaru owners. Look at this chart. I'm surprised Oregon's number 6.
Wow.
Actually, I'm kind of surprised Montana's number 7.
That's crazy. So they own almost 2 times the amount of Subarus as the next state down. What is it about Subarus that they love in Vermont?
Well, tied for 7. You'd think having that old West, America first lifestyle, they wouldn't be going for no Subarus. But Vermont definitely likes their Subarus. I have a Subaru, I like it. One thing to keep in mind if you do move to Vermont is don't be looking for chain restaurants and don't suggest they need more of them. Vermont prides itself on being as anti-corporate as possible. If you're not into farmers markets and co-ops, you're going to feel like an alien. And Vermont's another state that has some pretty...
That skyline is stunning. These like mountains in the background. Oh, beautiful.
Brutal winters. I mean, New England, the whole northern part of the United States, it gets pretty cold. There's 2 colds you have to survive in Vermont. The cold winters and the cold shoulder from your neighbors when they find out you're not from there. If you survive a couple good winters in Vermont, the locals, they might warm up to you. Don't hold your breath.
Wow, so you got to wait 2 years to make friends, basically. Oh, Hawaii.
Number 2, Hawaii. Oh, yes. Hawaii is one of the biggest complainers in the comment section of videos. They don't want people moving there. They wish it would have stopped, I don't know, around the 1800s. They had a nice little paradise going on back then, and then, Europeans decided to show up. But while the idea of living in a tropical haven might sound like...
Look at that beach. Oh, my God. And the water. What I would give to be there right now. Oh.
A dream to some, the locals often view newcomers with skepticism, if not outright hostility. It's not personal, they've just seen way too many mainlanders show up, drive up the cost of living, and generally disrupt the island vibe. If you don't know how to respect the culture, the land, and the people, you're in for a rough ride. And that's one thing you can really say about the Hawaiian people. If you are respectful to their culture, they're a hell of a lot more welcoming. But Hawaii is a great place to live, so it makes sense why so many mainlanders show up there. Between its pristine beaches, lush rainforests, and vibrant culture, it's a paradise worth fighting for. Just don't expect to immediately be welcomed into the fold.
Is it super expensive in Hawaii, like hotels and the cost of like going out for dinner? Is it really expensive? Or is it around the same as like, I don't know, a New York, California?
The locals value community, and it takes some time to prove that you just aren't another tourist with delusions of living the island life. Bonus points if you learn a little bit of the Hawaiian language and show genuine respect to traditions, like I'd said. Of course, the cost of living might make you rethink your plans. The housing prices are sky high, and the groceries will make you wish you stayed on the mainland. But hey, if you could afford it and manage to avoid offending locals, you might just find yourself in one of the most beautiful places on earth. Just don't expect everyone to hold your hand while you figure it out. All right, before we get to number 1, the question of the day: which state do you think is the most welcoming to outsiders?
The most welcoming to outsiders, if I had to guess, the most welcoming state to outsiders, maybe New Mexico?
Let me know in the comment section below. All right, on to number 1.
I don't know why I guessed New Mexico. Just a guess. Texas is number 1.
And number 1, Texas. Yep, the Lone Star State takes the top spot. And let's be honest, Texans love their state more than just about any other state. I think New Jersey runs a close second, but Texas, yeah, they're the top spot. And they'd like you to enjoy their state, but from afar. Move to Texas and you'll quickly learn that the only thing bigger than the state itself is the locals' pride in the state and their suspicion of anyone that isn't born there. You're not a Texan? Then bless your heart, but you're just visiting. Forever. You'll never become a Texan. Why is Texas a great place to live? Well, it's got everything. Booming cities like Austin, Dallas, Houston, even San Antonio to a degree, charming small towns, enough barbecue joints to clog your arteries for life. The cost of living, in most parts, is reasonable, and the job market is thriving. But fitting in? Oh, that's a whole different story. If you don't own at least one pair of cowboy boots and can't name a single Willie Nelson song, you might as well be from Mars. Texans are fiercely independent, and they expect you to be too. Don't come here trying to change their way of life, and for heaven's sake, don't mess with Texas. If you can embrace the heat, the quirks, and the constant reminder that everything's bigger in Texas, you might just survive. But remember, it's their state, you're just living in it, even if you're there 50 years. You're not a Texan. If you look at the comment section of any video I've ever done about Texas, you'll just see a whole bunch of people going, "We're full, don't come here trying to change our ways." It's always something like that. But that's one of their biggest complaints.
Wow, fun video. Again, guys, is it an exaggeration? Like, is it actually true? These states listed, they don't want people coming. They would rather that like people just stay away, or they just like come for a vacation, spend money and leave. But I mean, like, surely there must be people within these states that are like quite welcoming, you know, that they like new people who bring their own experiences and stuff like that. Or is it all true? Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and check out the video I'm going to link right here. See you there.